What is it? Can't you see I'm busy? It's people like you that keep me from doing my job. I'm sorry. That was unfair. The last few days have been rather stressful. I'm Harold Pavis, the town doctor. I'll help you if I can, but you'll understand if my attention is divided. It's a fine place. Small, but tight-knit. I wish we didn't have to pay people off, but some things are unavoidable. His name is Greg Caulfield. This isn't the first time he's been here. He was born with a weak immune system. It makes him more prone to infection. His family pretends it doesn't bother them, but my parents, well, my adoptive parents, they were natives of Portland, survivors from a federal shelter. They taught me and my brother everything we know. I'm here because I'm needed. Doctors are rare in the wastes, and in Portland, they're practically unheard of. I admit I'm not the best trained, but I do what I can to help. There's a virus going around. It's not lethal, but it's extremely resilient, and I have no way to treat it. More and more people are getting sick, and I'm running out of the supplies I need. I'm afraid not. I can't risk anyone making his condition worse. The supplies I need are very specific and very rare. But you could find my supplier. His name is Gladstone. He used to make deliveries here every third week, but he's gone missing and taken my supplies with him. I'd be willing to pay you for your time, if you can bring me the supplies he has. Things like unused needles, catheter tubes, and prescription painkillers. They're more effective than catch-alls like stim packs, but as a result, they're much harder to find. Thank you. I'll make sure you're properly rewarded. Gladstone lives in an old apartment building near Junkfleet. I'd check there first. Hello again. Well, if you must know, me and my brother first opened a practice in Junkfleet, but we were forced out. We wandered for some time, but seeing the dire state of the town, it convinced us to stay. He's away on business. It's unlikely that you two will meet. The mayor wanted us to stop serving criminals in the slums. When we refused, we were forced out. Excellent. Will Gladstone be returning as well? Oh. I see. What happened to him? What? That can't be right. How did he... This is serious. We might have an epidemic on our hands. At least I have the supplies. They should help. Here's your reward. You're welcome. Now, if there's nothing else, I must get back to work.
Ninja style, it is.
Welcome to the general store, stranger. The name's Adam. You're free to take anything you need as long as you have the caps for it. It was either here or Goose Hollow, and, well, this place was closer. Didn't much like it at first, but it grew on me. I think I made the right choice in the end. Wouldn't have met my wife otherwise. Well, I am now. I had a wife, Sonia. She worked down, south. About a year ago, she passed. Sickness got her. Store's been quiet ever since. Take a look. I don't need any help, but I may know someone who does. A while ago, a caravan came in here to trade. Nice folks, good prices too. They said they'd come back soon, and they never did. I'm starting to worry about them, and it'd be a big help if you could find them for me. I don't have a lot of caps, but I might have some custom weapons I'd be willing to give you. Thanks, stranger. I'm sure you'll bring them back safe. That I don't know. I was busy in the shop when they left, so I didn't see which way they went. Someone had to see them, though, so I'd ask around town. A little bit of everything, or at least anything I can get from other traders. We have some weapons, but that's about it. We're not self-sufficient like other communities. We rely on others to survive. It's part of the reason why we're so easy to rob. Oh, we have. Bunch of times. None of them worked, though, especially when it came to farming. It's not all bad, though. Traders tend to take a liking to us, so we get a discount. See you around, stranger.
Hello again. Anything you need help with? Caravan? There hasn't been a caravan through here in a while. You must be mistaken. Well, officially we willingly pay them taxes. Unofficially, if we don't pay them, they raise the town. The same thing goes for any big raider gangs that come through here. They used to. They were pretty bad about it too. Worse than the raiders. Once the Legion arrived, though, this place became no man's land for NCR soldiers. We haven't seen them in years, and we like it that way. The mayor of Junkfleet. His collectors don't come around as often as the Legion, but they usually ask for more. It's the mayor's way of punishing us for refusing to help him. He wants to push the NCR and Legion out of the frontier. Make us independent. It's a nice idea, but it's never gonna happen. And anyone who helps the mayor is gonna get burned. The best thing for Irvington is to stay out of it. Only the larger gangs, the kind we can't win against. Smaller groups are no problem for us. They haven't been bothering us lately, though. With the war going on and the hangman doing whatever it is he does, their numbers have thinned out quite a bit. We expected them to attack us, but they're actually rather fair. As long as we give them medical supplies and caps, they let us do what we want. Of course, if we don't pay up, we're dead, but it could be worse. You want an answer? Look around. We have a militia, but we wouldn't last a second against an organized force. Not only that, we rely on traders from the Legion and Junkfleet to survive. If we fight back, they cut us off. It's not ideal, but we're happy where we are. In war, it's better to be ignored. And make ourselves a target? I don't think so. We don't expect anyone to understand, but you need to realize that we're not going to change. Sure. Where do you want to go? You'll want to see old Ben. He's hiding on the outskirts under the overpass. See that huge tent over there? That's Dr. Pavis's clinic. He should be able to help you. There's the Caulfield residence down the road. Beyond that is the old farm where Chloe lives. There's also the graveyard. Shoot. Me? No, but Dr. Pavis has been having some trouble lately. I'm sure he'd appreciate any help you could give. I suppose there is something, but it's not exactly glamorous. Tycho is selling chems, and I need him to stop. I've tried talking to him, but he doesn't listen to anybody, especially people in authority. Maybe you could talk some sense into him. I used to be NCR, if you couldn't tell by the armor. Served under a man named Hosea Zurich. Back then, I idolized him. I was willing to do anything to get close to him. Brighttown put things in perspective, not just for me, but for a lot of people. We finally realized that we might not actually be the good guys here. Then Zurich tried to have sex with me. That was the final straw. I deserted again and worked as a mercenary. Eventually, I was hired to protect this town. After a few raids, I decided to settle down, free of charge. You realize that Tycho is committing a crime. I should be kicking him out. Oh, I didn't know that. I'll leave him alone.
Howdy. Define odd. I suppose Tycho's selling chem scouts, but beyond that, I don't... Wait a moment, there is something. A while ago, a caravan came on through here. Seemed more interested in the town than most folk. They said they'd come back in a few days, but that was a month ago. Guess it's to be expected, though. They were trying to get to the next settlement, but they ended up heading towards Ostia. If the Legion doesn't get them, the critters out there will. Not a clue. They got their directions from Zaris, but she wouldn't make a mistake like that. Howdy. Sure can. Let me take a look. Do I ever take a good look? Take care now.
Let me adjust the gear in my bag. Make sure I have some stim packs. I'll use them in battle, so you can focus on the fight.
Do I ever take a good look? Take care now.
Fixer. This one got messy.
I had a feeling you'd be out here. You're nosy for a stranger. You should have just stayed out of this. But, since you're here, you might as well help out. I didn't make them lie. It was their choice. It was a safety measure. We didn't know what kind of people they would send after the caravan. What those people would do to us. The less it looks like we know, the better. Same reason as you, I suppose. To find out what happened to the caravan. I think the answer is pretty obvious. No idea. I thought it was a robbery, but everything is still here, just wrecked. Even the Legion isn't this brutal. I don't know what did this. There's a ledger in one of the boxes. It has classified information in it that we can't risk falling into the wrong hands. Problem is, I can't get the damn box open. Go ahead. It's not going to be easy, though. Great. Give it to me. You're really gonna do this? They were nosy like you and found something they shouldn't have. I came out here to make sure they didn't share what they learned. Turns out, I wasted my time, because they were already dead. You can have the ledger if you want it, but keep what happened here a secret. Tell Adam they were lying about coming back. That was a lie. I just needed to find out what was in there. That piece of paper is worthless. What? No, of course not. I'd never do something like that. Yes, I did. I needed a way to get rid of them, or at least to slow them down. Ostia was the best option. I didn't want this, though. Well, for starters, what they found out needs to stay buried. If people came looking for them, those people might find out what the caravan did. Besides that, news of the caravan being destroyed would cause traders to avoid town, and we need them to survive. I'm not going to hurt you if that's what you think. At least not physically. My word means a lot in Irvington, though. I can poison your reputation easily. Fine, but if you do that, you'll have to live with the consequences.
Welcome back. What can I do for you? It's all right. Nothing you could have done. Would have liked to get some kind of trade partnership going, but... oh well. At least I know. Your pay is promised. Thanks again, stranger. Welcome back. What can I do for you? A little bit of everything. Or at least anything I can get from other traders. Take a look. See you around, stranger.
Beat it, punk. This is Danny's business. If you don't know Danny, then you're new or you're dumb. He's one of the biggest merchants in Portland, and no one messes with him. No one. She's a scrap collector. But word is she used to be a Salttown miner. Maybe if she stayed there, she'd be able to pay Danny back. She's a scrap collector. But word is she used to be a She's made it clear that she's not paying up. So once we get inside, we're going to kill her. A few years ago, the ghoul in there took out a loan from Danny. It's time to collect, but the bitch refuses to pay. What? The courier must have been late again. Damn it! Why does this keep happening?
Thanks for taking care of those idiots for me. Normally I'd be able to take them, but I ran out of shells on the way here. I can't give you anything, but if you're looking for conversation, I'm more than happy to oblige. We talking before or after my face looked like this? Before this, before the war, I was a fire starter. Anarchist is what they called us back then. Guys in charge said all we did was throw bombs at people. That wasn't true of all of us, but I fit the stereotype to a T. Even had a partner, in more ways than one. Italian guy, never could remember his name. He died right before the war, probably for the best. After he died, I decided to infiltrate a mining outpost. Destroy it from the inside. Down with capitalists and all that. Wasn't there too long before the bombs fell, which is how I changed. The outpost would later become Salttown. After I turned into a ghoul, I joined the other miners and helped build up Salttown. Wasn't too keen on it at first. You know, since I hate governments. But it grew on me, at least until we elected the first foreman. Never did like the guy, but things were still good. Then the second foreman took over and everything went to shit. The new guy was just as bad as the capitalist assholes from before the war. He may have been worse. He treated us like garbage, tools to make him richer. I joined a group to make things better, but they weren't willing to go far enough, so I left the town. Turned to scavenging after that, and here I am now. Okie dokie. Not anymore. I did take a loan out from him when I first left Salttown, but I paid it back in full. Danny sent his guys here because he thinks I forgot I paid him. Unfortunately for him, being a ghoul doesn't automatically give me Alzheimer's. I collect scrap and then sell it to places like Irvington, places that have it rough. No, those meatheads just cornered me here. I don't live anywhere, really. I just walk the wastes. It's a good life, despite what you may think. Ah, fellow traveler. Should have figured from the mud on your boots. Nice to know I'm not the only one bumming it on the road. No, those meatheads just cornered me here. I heard. A few of my old friends from town came over to tell me. They didn't exactly have kind words for me, which was expected and deserved. It's going to be hard for all of them, the guards especially, but hopefully they'll see why we did this. Even if they don't, they're better off now than they were before. Thank you for doing this. It couldn't have been easy. You've earned this. The one and only. He managed to get out of the cave and find me. I don't know how, but I stopped questioning him a long time ago. I'm glad to finally have some company out here. I don't know. The town itself is done for, that's for sure. But the people, we'll have to wait and see. I'll keep traveling like before. I doubt anyone in Salt Town wants to see my face. Have a good life, kid. Well, hello. Later.
Hello again. Anything you need help with? The militia was established after a particularly bad raid. We realized we needed something to defend what little we had. I got together the best people I could find in town and outside of it, and formed the militia. Since it was formed, the militia is a relatively new addition to Irvington, about 3 years old. I have the most combat experience out of anyone here, so it made sense that I was made captain. That's because we didn't. Before the war, the army came to defend the town, just in case China broke through the Alaskan line. That never happened, but their mistake makes us one of the better equipped factions in the wasteland. Maybe. You certainly have the skills for it. I'd have to see you in action first, though. Stay safe out there.
judicious with your kills. A little discretion goes a long way.
Zaris, finally! I've been calling you for... Wait, who are you? It doesn't matter now. Dr. Pavis is in danger. I know you have no reason to help us, but you have to save him. No, I don't. You could ask old Ben, though. He's the chief technician for the lab, and he's ex-Brotherhood. I'm sure he'd be willing to help. You just have to ask. It's a hydroponics facility left over from before the war. Think of it like an artificial farm. We grow food down here. Or we did until now. Yeah. This place is secret for a reason. Is now really the time? Oh, all right, I'll tell you. I'm from California. Back there, I was a member of the OSI. I worked with Blackthorn during the Brotherhood War and left with him. Because out of all the people they could have put in charge of the science division, they chose Wei. He's a trumped-up little asshole who doesn't consider anyone else's opinions and blames others when his faulty experiments fail. There was a point when I couldn't take it anymore, so I left. From what I hear, I wasn't the only one. My old friend Zaris recommended me to Dr. Pavis. I'm glad she did, too. This might be the only job in the frontier I'm qualified for. No, that's his brother Harold. I'm talking about Joseph, the head researcher down here. I don't know for sure. Everything happened so fast. One minute I was taking readings from a sample, and the next these things were going through and killing everyone. I barely got out of there. They're similar to feral ghouls, but they look like they're covered in plants. Or that they are plants. If that wasn't enough, their behavior lines up with several invasive plant species I've encountered. I've never seen anything like this. Last I saw, he was running into his office. He's probably still there. Another researcher, Yasuke, was following him. Hopefully they're still alive. If they're dead, this project might as well be over. Well, we could continue without Yasuke, but Dr. Pavis is the only one here who has a full grasp on how the lab works. He was teaching us how to work it, but he didn't tell us everything. Not to mention that most of us are dead now. He's indispensable. was lucky. When the attack started, I was right next to the exit. Those things are tough, but they can't open doors. Thank you. Here, take this. It's my key card. It won't get you into Pavis's office, but you can probably find the key card that can in the main level. I also have a few stim packs with me. If you're seriously hurt, come back and I can give them to you.
Howdy. Let's see. Suppose I should have expected something like this. Damn cool. This whole thing is probably his fault. I knew we shouldn't have brought him in. If we lose those crops, we're done for. Here, these are what I can spare. Take care of yourself down there.
You're back. Oh, of course. Here. You're back.
You're not militia. Good. If you were, you wouldn't have gotten this far. They're brave, but they're completely unprepared for what's down here. Forgive me. It seems I've forgotten my manners. I am Dr. Joseph Pavis, the head of this facility. I can only assume you have many questions. Harold, you mean? He's a good man. I wish we could spend more time together, but my place is here. Oh, I see. I'm grateful for your help. Thank you. Amanda, she's alive. Thank heavens. At least not everyone was lost. No. Their physiology reacts negatively to the cold. They're trapped here, just as we are. What? That's impossible. It couldn't have gotten out on its own. Someone must have deliberately brought it out of stasis. That may explain how the others escaped as well. I suppose there's no point in trying to hide it anymore. This is a pre-war hydroponics lab. It was originally meant to be used to test chemical weapons, but we've repurposed it as a farm. We've been using it to grow our own food for years. This lab keeps Irvington self-sufficient and independent. Merely a ruse, devised by the townspeople to divert attention away from the lab. As it stands, the town remains mostly untouched by the war. If the existence of this lab were to be revealed, it would be a much different story. Most likely the Enclave. Perhaps this was originally meant to be part of a vault, or perhaps it was a separate venture altogether. I can only guess. I'm the head of this lab, and thus food production for the town of Irvington. I'm afraid the fault is mine. I was keeping these subjects in hypostasis, deeper in the lab for study. I thought they were contained, but it's rather obvious that this was not the case. All these deaths are in my hands, and mine alone. No, not yet. My assistant, Yosuke, is still missing. When I told him the source of the infection, he ran off into the pipeworks to activate the decontamination system. It will kill all the spore carriers, but it will also destroy the crops and keep us from growing anything in the soil. This cannot be allowed to happen. If the crops die, our independence will be lost. You have to stop him. The food. It's the food that changes people. The initial samples in the lab were sent here by Vault 22. These samples were implanted with a parasitic fungus that transforms the hosts into plant-like mutants. However, the spores here are weaker than the originals. They only have a 20% chance of infection. Yosuke didn't understand that last part. That is why he's trying to destroy the crops altogether. It's part of why I've been keeping the subjects down here, to try and lower the chance of infection even further. I'm getting close to eliminating it, but none of that will matter if Yosuke destroys our work. Zaris and my brother. That's it. Zaris suggested I keep it quiet, and I respect her judgment. Not as many as you might think. Only 4 townspeople have been infected. 5 counting the Caulfield boy. The majority are visitors, who haven't built up an immunity to the spores like we have. I know. What I've done is given this community a chance to thrive, and without having to bow to either of the superpowers. I'm the first to admit that I have crossed several lines. But any sacrifices we have made will be pointless if Yosuke succeeds. Thank you for understanding. You'll need this keycard. It'll get you into any locked area in the lab. Good luck. Hello again. I see. I wish things could have been different. But at least we were able to avoid a disaster. Thank you for looking into this. I'll make sure to get the lab up and running as soon as possible.
Thank you for saving Dr. Pavis. With him here, we'll get the lab up and running in no time. Besides Dr. Pavis, I'm the only living researcher. That means I'll have to do the jobs of 4 people for now. It won't be so bad, though. We can't do that much until the lab is fixed anyway. By then, we should have some new blood. I was in the Brotherhood War. As terrible as it is to say, I'm used to death at this point. So yes, I'm okay. Thanks again.